All right. Lovely. Okay, enough of you have seen it, so that's good. I know that it's coming up. So I am proud and pleased and just delighted to have the expertise as a practitioner of Professor Rogelio Garcia from East Los Angeles College, who teaches political science and is going to show you many amazing tools that you'll be able to, consider using as you make this move forward. Some options. Diana, are you here right now? Okay, Diana will be joining us in a minute, probably. And then we have the amazing Jan Connell, who is our 3CSN coordinator, one of our 3CSN coordinators. We call them OG coordinators. She's been here pretty much from the beginning.
The old guard. Okay, yes, I'm here. And what I'm doing is I'm monitoring the chat function and hoping to make sure that we get all the questions answered. We do want to hold them to the end, if at all possible. So you can contact me through the chat.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. And so, Professor Garcia, would you like to introduce yourself?
You already did.
Okay, sounds good.
So East Los Angeles College, my name, what I teach. Yeah,
I did it all already. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we, again, if you haven't already, go into the chat, type your name, email address, and campus role. And many of you have been here with us since the beginning, or at least since a few days ago. So we just want to reinforce that we are engaging in productive struggle and that we can do amazing things when we work from a learner-centered mindset and community with one another. And that we recognize that this is a time when our educator identities feel perhaps a little vulnerable. And so we're here in community together to reinforce with each other and support each other and to remind each other that we're all learners and there's always something to learn, and that's a beautiful thing. And if we keep a sense of humor and we keep, because technical things will happen. That's just a reality of it as we all learn together. And our students, their student identity is also being challenged in these times. And so we want to make sure that we recognize that and support them as well. And maybe perhaps, can share with them that, as much as we can, that this is a collaborative effort. This is a team effort. So again, creating a sense of community and online environments. And we hope that you're feeling that way. We're trying to model what you can do also with your students and creating this sense of community, and that will help to support student engagement and retention. And hopefully the tools that you're going to see today, you may find that those are things that are also going to support you as you also go back into your classrooms on Monday. Most of you are going back. And there is a feeling of anxiety that's coming up. That's why we have 44 people in this room right now, right? Okay. And then learning together in order to support our professional identity development or reinforce it or help us to recenter ourselves in an online environment, and to give you a chance to dialogue and share and build and strengthen knowledge and engage in productive struggle and community. And the wonderful thing about all of this is that we really have the opportunity to different kinds of opportunities. So these are a little more on the webinar style, although you definitely are going to engage in questions and chat. So please make sure that you ask those questions and check our frequently asked questions that Jan is posting, and think about your own role in it. And then we also have some thought partner sessions that happen later in the day where you can also talk about things. So we try to give opportunities also for you to engage and problem through and think through things in community. So you're not by yourselves, okay? And we're gonna be continuing this series. So we know that on the website right now, we're going to be putting up a little bit later today. We're going to be putting up the new schedule for next week because we're here to support you as you go into the classroom. And that's an important thing. So we want you all to know that we are not going anywhere. If you've looked at our social media on Twitter or on Facebook, you can see that we are all here and we are excited to be here, and we're working tirelessly and literally tirelessly, well, a little tiredly, let's say, to support all of you and to support our own students, because we're all practitioners and we are not experts, but we're here to support you and to share what we do know. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and take it away, Professor. Okay, let's take you off mute. Sorry about that, sir.
That's fine. Okay, that's it, yeah. Okay, so I guess you're talking to me, right? All right, great. So, all right. Well, so good. It's still morning. Yeah, good morning. The purpose of this presentation is to give everybody some alternatives to using Zoom. Zoom is a great tool to deliver perhaps lectures, have virtual office hours, but there's other options out there. It just depends how you want to deliver your lectures. So for example, myself, I'm not going to use a Zoom to deliver my lectures. I'm going to instead use some software like screen capturing stuff, some HTML conversion tools that I'm going to post my lecture notes ahead of time. And of course, there are some benefits to that. So for example, if you're a proponent of asynchronous teaching, like myself, I feel that it gives me more flexibility to deliver this material to students, and it also gives them the flexibility to choose for themselves when it's best for them to actually review these lectures. So I think that screen capturing and HTML conversion are some good alternatives to a live Zoom session. So let me share with you my screen. So I'm going to talk to you about two different softwares that that I use myself to do this. There might be a third. In fact, that third one, I think I did I know I did a webinar on this earlier this week. But I think I'm going to change that up, and I'm going to show everybody an alternative. So besides the one I'm going to start with, which is going to be Screencast-O-Matic, I'm going to talk to you guys about another little software. It's called the ISpring. I'm going to show you where to get that and what it does and the benefits of that, time permitting. So let me get started. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. All right. Okay, so this is my screen now. I'm showing you right now, this is my Canvas page. We're gonna come back to this. So first things first, Screencast-O-Matic. Now, I would recommend that you actually, on whatever browser you use, type in under the search bar, Screencast-O-Matic. The URL is kind of funky, and I'll show you why in a minute. So you just put in Screencast-O-Matic, and it's gonna usually be, definitely gonna be, the first one. So let's just click here. And the reason why I say to do a web search instead of actually using the actual URL is that if you notice, it's kind of a weird URL. It's got the little dashes in between, and sometimes people forget that. So it won't take you automatically there. So anyways, also you can bookmark this too, so you'll always have access to it that way. So anyway, so you're here on the page, and so what I would recommend that you do is I would open up an account. And there are benefits to opening up a free account. Now, you don't have to. If all you want to do is just do screen recording, then you can just launch the start recording for free option right here, and it'll do that. But I already have a an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. I think it's this one. Geez, I already forgot which one it was. Let's see. I think it's my ELAC one. Oh, actually, maybe I don't have one. But is it through Google? Maybe it's through Google. Just ignore my emails. I have a ton of them. Oh yeah, so I guess it was through my Gmail. Anyways, you can do that you too. So so I'm here, and so now I'm gonna take you back to the main page here, because not everybody has an account. So let's say you just want to start recording your screen outright. So what you're going to do is you're going to just click right here, start recording for free. Now, the first time it's going to, ask you to like, I think maybe download a little piece of software, the launching tool, but kind of like Zoom. So you're just going to, do that. It's kind of a one-time thing. So it takes a little bit of time, right? But once it does, you'll notice that it's going to do something here. So you see it kind of, the screen goes a little gray, and it kind of dots out certain portions of the screen. At this point, you can choose for yourself if you want to do the whole screen, right, or certain parts of the screen. Like for myself, if you don't want to show people your bar, I cropped it out right there, and I don't want to show people, my links in the bottom, right? So yeah, so I just cropped it out to there. So at this point, I have the option of recording my screen. If I have a webcam, if I just want to record the webcam, or I want to do both. So just for this demonstration, I'm just going to select my screen. I'm not going to record myself on the camera. You already have that through the Zoom, so just kind of be redundant. So I'm going to record my screen, and when I'm ready, I can start recording. Now, before I do that, let me tell you. So the Screencast-O-Matic is free. It's absolutely free, but because it's free, they have a premium, deluxe account, all those, and there are some drawbacks to the free version. One of the major drawbacks is that you're limited to 15-minute videos. Now, you can record as many videos as you want, but you can only record them at 15-minute intervals. So one way around this, for example, if maybe you have a lecture that goes longer than 15 minutes, one thing you can do, obviously, is record one video and call it part 1 and part 2 and so on. And you could do that. So that's one of the limitations of the free version of Screencast-O-Matic. So with that, I'm going to start recording. So I'm going to press record, and it gives you a little countdown. And starting now, everything that I'm saying is being captured, right, as I'm doing it. Anything that's happening on my desktop, any website I'm on, it's going to capture it. So for example, if I minimize my my web browsing, right, it's gonna show anything else that I have up. So for example, my desktop here. So anything that I'm saying right now, this is just a demonstration. I'm just kind of blabbering on because I'm going to stop it in a minute to show you what you can do with it after you're done recording. So I'm done. So I can pause it, which means that I can keep going if I want to. But let's say I want to stop. So first of all, let's say I want to just end my recording. I'm satisfied with it. I'm going to click done. If I'm not satisfied with it, I can throw it in the trash and start over. But I want to be done. Now, at this point, I have a few options. So I can save and upload. Now, here's the benefit of creating an account with Screencast-O-Matic is that if you don't have an account, all you can do is save the video on your computer. You could do that. That's fine. You can only download as MP4, which is a pretty universal, video kind of a format. But the benefit of creating an account is that it allows you to actually save on the Screencast-O-Matic servers. And there are some benefits to that. The free version gives you some limited editing tools. So for example, I'm going to do that. And so here I am. So I can play back the video. And starting now, everything that I'm saying is being captured, right, as I'm doing it. Anything that's happening on my desktop, any website I'm on, it's going to capture it. So, all right. So there I am. It works. Okay. Now, as far as editing, again, I have some limited editing tools here. In fact, the only thing that Screencast-O-Matic allows the free account version to do is to trim the video at the beginning and at the end. You really can't do anything in the middle. So that's one of the drawbacks of this. It's kind of a one-shot deal. So let's just assume that everything's fine from the beginning and at the end. I'm happy where it ends. And now I just want to save it. So if I save my video here, right, I can download it as an MP4 on my computer, or I can upload it to the Screencast-O-Matic website. I can also post it on YouTube. I think, however, though, that to do this, I think I need the deluxe version. So, no, I guess I don't necessarily need it, but Anyways, so, but I don't want to do that. I want to save it to the Screencast-O-Matic server. All right, at this point, I can change the name of the recording. So call it Demo 2, because I have another demonstration. And, you know, I can highlight the cursor, which is kind of a neat little kind of feature. Shareable, you know, you can allow people to search it on Google if you want, but if you want to be a little more private about it, you know, just nowhere. And I can now publish it. You know, it's going to take a minute or so here, probably less time than that. Actually, it's a pretty short video. All right, so I'm done. And now it's going to take me to my video collection. So, well, first it's going to try to sell me stuff, right? It's going to sell me their deluxe or premium versions. It's really up to you. It's, you know, it does come with additional stuff, but if all you're trying to do is just capture your screen, deliver a message to your students, you know, a lecture that's 15 minutes, you know, or less. And again, remember, you can record as many videos as you want. If that's all you want to do, then all you need to do is just do what I just showed you. You don't need the deluxe and premiere editions, but if you do want to have more flexibility in terms of editing and, you know, being more creative about it, then sure, you have the deluxe and premium editions. The deluxe edition, it appears to only cost less than $20 a year, apparently, right? $1.65 over 12 months. Yeah, that's less than 20 bucks. So anyways, so it's up to you, obviously. Now, I'm going to go to my videos. I have an account. And so here are my two videos. Oh, actually, I guess I both called them demo one. I think I called this one just lowercase though. So yeah, this is one from today's date. So now, at this point, the other benefit of having an account is that yes, you could download it as an MP4, but also what you can do. So if I click on this video that I created, I could get a direct link or an embed code. Now, if you don't know what these are, these basically allow you to put them into your, let's say, Canvas web shell learning management system, and you can share this video with your students, either through a direct link that will redirect them to the video, or you could actually embed the video frame inside Canvas, and that's what the URL, the embed code will do. So I might show you how to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that. I'm gonna copy that. Right, and you can have the option of full HD, all that stuff. It's up to you. Or remember, you can download it. So it's up to you. But I'm just gonna get the embed code, and let's say I'm done. All right. Now I can go back to my Canvas, which is where I usually have stuff for my students. And let's say that I want to start an assignment or whatever. You know, I'm gonna just a little dummy assignment here. Just kind of just call it whatever I want. Video instructions, let's say. And so here in the box here, right, I can do a couple of things. There's an HTML editor here, so I can simply put in the embed code through this, or I can put it right here. So if you click on this one, so you see there's an embed option here. You can click right here, copy and paste. And there's the video. So let's say that I want to now save this so you can see kind of how it looks like. I'm just gonna go ahead and save. I don't want to publish it because I'm gonna delete it later. And so here it would be. Maybe it still needs to well, it would play. It's a 42-second video. I think what it is that it's not done fully processing yet, but it'll be here, I guess. So it is here. You know, it says demo 2, whatever. So I can do that. All right. So essentially, that's kind of it for the Screencast-O-Matic. It's very simple to use. You know, it has some basic features for a free version. It's pretty good. Again, limitations, 15 minutes, but you can download you can create as many videos as you want with Screencast-O-Matic. So are there any questions about this before I move on to the other thing that I have?
Yes, there are. So
Okay.
one person was asking
Sure.
if they are screen captioned.
So yeah, so I'm getting this question a lot. So as you guys know, even Zoom. So Zoom has a function that allows you to have closed allows
caption.
you to put in, you know, closed caption. And likewise, Screencast-O-Matic has an option that allows you to put in these closed captioning, but it doesn't do it automatically. So you're gonna have to go through a third party to do that. So either get somebody to transcribe them, or somehow create the script that you can then insert, and it'll then create it. But by default, no, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it's certainly not for a free version. So
Okay.
that unfortunately is just the reality of most of the free options out there.
So can you talk again about what the free version includes? Like, are your video clips saved on their server for free? Or
Yes,
is that...
so the account that you have the option of creating is free, and you do that, and it will save unlimited videos to their servers. Again, remember, the only limitation is that they would be in 15-minute clips. So you're limited to 15-minute clips with the free version. With the deluxe one, I believe there you can download, you can record, you know, a lot more than that. I'm not sure if there's a limit to that, but it's certainly not 15 minutes. But remember, the workaround is that you can simply record multiple videos and just call them part 1, part 2, part 3. So that's kind of one thing.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can you share an example of how you use it in your class? I'm thinking.
Sure. Yeah. So
I videotape myself particular lesson, and then you post it, and students can watch it, and then you give them an assignment based on that.
So actually, the way I would use it is to actually deliver a lecture. So for example, you know, we're not in the classroom anymore, at least for the time being. So I would use this to maybe show them a PowerPoint and record that, and me narrating through the PowerPoint. And then I would upload that. So that would be an alternative to delivering, you know, a Zoom lecture. So that's how I would use it. But yes, absolutely. You can use it for a lot of things. You can use it to deliver video instructions, video messaging to your students, you know, so they can kind of see your face too. Because, you know, this is, you know, online is very impersonal, clearly. So if there's any way to kind of bridge that, you know, like, you know, through video, then that's definitely a benefit. So, so yeah, that's kind of how I would use it. Now, remember, like I said in the beginning, I actually don't use this option too often for delivering lectures. I use something different. So that's the second thing that I was going to show you guys. So I'll do one more question about Screencast-O-Matic before I move on to the next one. Is there one more other question?
Well, there wasn't a question, but several people mentioned using the YouTube function to auto-generate closed caption.
You can do that. You can do that. But if anybody who's ever tried that has seen, it's notoriously inaccurate. It's not the, again, it's an alternative. It's something that kind of, it's a Band-Aid solution. It's certainly not something that, you know, unfortunately is, you know, very accurate. So it's really up to you if you want to do that. Actually, you know, there's something else, and I actually just learned this recently. If you actually have PowerPoint, and I'll show you my PowerPoint in a minute because it kind of goes along with the second option, is that there's actually a function inside the newer version of PowerPoint, 16 and on, that actually does a pretty good job of transcribing your presentations. So maybe you guys can look into that. Maybe, I'm not sure if I have enough time to do that, but you definitely want to investigate that. I tried it the other day, and it actually works pretty good, a lot better than the YouTube stuff. So anyways, okay. So maybe there could be another workshop on that. So,
good idea.
Yeah, right. All right, so let me tell you about the second option, and this one is actually one that I definitely use a lot. It's actually the one I exclusively use. So the second thing I like to do is, so for example, this is one of my PowerPoint presentations. So this is on the courts. Remember, we're going over the, well, not going over, I wish we were going over that. I'm recording the lectures, right? So basically all I do is that I record my lectures with a microphone, and then I simply upload the audio, and it, you know, I generate it right here. So you're looking at this picture. What do you see? If you guess the Supreme Court building, then you're right. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that's not the part I want to show you. The part I want to show you is once I'm done with all this, right? So for example, you know, I'm done with all these. I've included audio in all my slides, and I'm ready to now post this on my Canvas page. Now, if all I want to do is share this, then I simply could just, you know, save this PowerPoint to Canvas. But there's a lot of limitations with that. First of all, you have to consider the fact that many of our students don't have Microsoft Office. So we have to consider that. And frankly, myself, I'm very protective of my presentations. For example, I don't like that students can edit them. I don't like that students might be able to share them with other future students. All right, that monster went away. Okay, so one alternative to do this is to convert my PowerPoints into HTML, and there's a lot of benefits to that. So the tool that I use is called ISpring Free. Again, just like Screencast Matic, it's a free tool, but again, because it's the free version, it has some limitations to it. So for example, one of the limitations with the ISpring Free is that you can only convert 15 slides at a time. But again, all you need to do is just convert 15 slides, call it part 1, and then 15 other slides, call that part 2. Now, so when I'm ready to do this, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to now publish. And you know, I'm gonna call it the courts. You choose a folder where you want to save it, and this is important. You want to save it as SCORM 1.2. Now, this is a file that's specific to learning management systems, so it needs to be in a SCORM 1.2 to do this. Now, once I'm publishing it, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna kind of go to a file that I already have because it takes a minute. I can do this. Now, another cool, neat thing about this, let me show you real quick. I'm gonna add a new slide here. Now, you see this quiz option right here? I can go ahead and I can actually generate a quiz within the PowerPoint. So for example, let's say that I want to I want to make this into a graded quiz. Let's see. So I'm going to make this into a multiple choice question. So I can say, how many justices serve on the Supreme Court? And, you know, one of my options could be obviously 100. Let's say, I don't know, just making stuff up here, 50. And the correct answer, in case you were wondering, 9. And I can choose this as the correct answer. And I can say, like, if they choose the right one, I can change what it says here, right? I can say that's right. You know, you really know your stuff. Right? And I'll just leave the incorrect option right there. And I could add points to it if I want. I'm just gonna say 1 point. And I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save and return to the course. It's saving it right now. When it does that, it kind of, so yeah, it's doing its thing right now. And there it is, right? Now, if I'm gonna convert it, now I can do kind of what I did the first time and just publish it, do all that stuff, right? Scorm, all that. I'm going to publish it. Let me show you what it looks like. So I'm going to go back to my, my canvas here. So what you're going to do is that you see right here, Scorm. If you go to your canvas, you probably have maybe ran into it at one point. You're like, what's Scorm? That's what that is. So you click on this and you can upload that, that file. Now I've already uploaded a few of them for my students. So yeah. So now it's uploaded. And now I can go to my assignments because that's where it's going to save it. So it'll save it under like imported assignments. So let's say I've moved it, I've renamed it, and I'm going to show you one that I did recently. So the presidency. So this is what it's going to look like when you do convert it. So this is my PowerPoint that I've converted to HTML. It maintains the integrity of the PowerPoint, the videos, everything. So, and notice how it's kept my audio. So it still plays it. By now you know that I like to begin my lectures with an image that I think captures the significance of the topic. This picture you're looking at represents an incredible moment. You may not understand its significance, so let me explain. Anyways, so I'm gonna move on. So all my stuff is there. So students can kind of jump from slide to slide. This is automatically done. You don't need to do anything aside from converting it to Scorm. Right? And I go over the, for example, the requirements, so the students can kind of go through this. And I'm kind of skipping around here because I want to show you what one of those quizzes looks like that I embedded. So right here, for example. So it says you have to complete the question before submitting. So I'm going to do that. So here's one question that I created. So anyone can be president of the United States as long as he or she, and you can click the right answer, right? So submit. And I said, correct. Yes, both are required to be POTUS, right? They can view the results. They can review the quiz. And if not, okay. All right. I think it's, I don't know, anyway. All right. So I think somebody's looking for their camera or something. All right, so then you can move on to the next slide and so on. And you can add as many questions as you want. And this is the free version of the ISpring. So yeah, and it just kind of moves on like that. Now the benefit of HTML, obviously, besides the integration of a quiz, is, and there's multiple choice. You can do drop down. You can do text box quiz. You can do all those things. The other benefit, obviously, is that as an HTML video file, it's not a video file, as an HTML file, that means that any device can recognize it. So it'll look exactly the same way on a smartphone, a tablet, a desktop, and our students have at least a phone, right? So they might not have a laptop, they might not have something, but they have at least one of these options, or at least they can maybe get one. And with that alone, you can do this. So, and your students will have the benefit of this. Now, the other benefit, obviously, is that there's really no way to download this. So students are forced to go to the Canvas page and kind of, you know, develop this kind of, I guess I won't say relationship, but, you know, this familiarity with your Canvas page. It really forces them to go to the Canvas page. So, so that's kind of one of the benefits of this. So kind of gives them more familiar with, you know, the page. Maybe they can explore other things that you have here. Just kind of it kind of hooks them. And of course, the benefit for me is that when I do give my real exam, students can't cheat. For example, they can't, or it makes it harder. I'm sure there's ways around it. I'm sure they've already thought of 10,000 ways to do this, but it's not as easy as, for example, if I uploaded a PowerPoint, which they can then obviously download, print out, have in front of them while they're taking an exam. Here, it's on a page. So I use Canvas to deliver my exams, which means that they cannot leave that page, because if they leave that page, it'll record their scores, and that's pretty much it. So that's kind of one of the benefits for me, you know, as we're kind of learning this, you know, kind of online kind of lifestyle now, we have to come up with ways to, you know, obviously maintain academic integrity. And for me, this is one of the many solutions that I've come up with to try to do that. So, that's pretty much what I have to show you here. There's other things, so maybe if somebody's interested, maybe obviously I can answer some more questions right now. I can definitely kind of show you if there's something else, but are there any questions about anything so far?
Yes, we do have quite a few.
Okay.
So Rebecca is asking if you have to, for the ISpring free, do you have to buy it, download it somehow?
No,
PowerPoint?
it's free. It's
Okay.
free. The only thing that they ask is that you send them your email, because they're going to send you a link through the email to download it.
Okay.
So that's and besides that, it's absolutely free. Like I mentioned, the limitation is that you're only able to convert 15 PowerPoint slides at a time. But again, workaround, you can just do you can do as many PowerPoints, 15 slides each, and just call them part 1, part 2. Now, I will say though that's sorry, real quick. I will say though that 15 slide limit is a relatively new addition. Actually, historically, the ISpring free software, the free version, didn't have any limits. And if you can somehow find that older version, 9.71 version is the last one that they allow unlimited slides. If you can find one, wink, right? I think I have it. Maybe I can do a file share. Then you do as many slides as you want. That's what I have. I don't do 15 slides. I do 30 slides, per. So yeah, so that's what I use. So yeah, so maybe I'll do a file share, and anybody who wants it can download it. Again, it's free. We're not breaking any laws or anything. It's just an older version. The new version limits people.
Okay. So another question, and maybe this has already been addressed, so forgive me. Does SCORM have to be visible to work? So can it be hidden? What if, and also if your Canvas site doesn't need to have SCORM, where do they get it? How does that happen?
Okay, so yeah, SCORM is pretty much default for most learning management systems because it's an integral part of it. Now, it might be hidden, and if it is hidden, then what you're gonna have to do is go under your settings, and go under navigation. And so this is all the stuff that's visible on my left bar here. But you have tons of other things that are not. So you can simply kind of look for it here and drag it up. Right? You can do that.
Okay.
But SCORM should be there. If it's not visible for whatever reason, contact your distance learning administrator and tell them, hey, the SCORM isn't here. I need it, and they will, put it in, because it is a default version of Canvas and Blackboard and what's the other one? Distance to Learn, or D2L. It's the other one I used to use. So yeah, Desire to Learn or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, but SCORM is standard.
Another question. When you do the quiz inside your PowerPoint, does that automatically populate the Canvas gradebook?
Yes, you have the option. So you can do it as kind of like a little dummy quiz, just to kind of kind of prepare them for the real exam. So the points could be worth nothing, or you can actually integrate them to your exam book. You could do that. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Obviously, I can't show you how to do that because obviously I don't want to do that because I'll have to delete it later. But it's a pretty easy process. When you're creating the quiz, it'll ask you like whatever, if you want to do that, then and we'll let you do that.
Okay, great.
So yeah, what time? So we have an hour.
Yes, we're done at 12:30.
We're done at 12:30. Okay. So if there are no other questions about this, there is still one other alternative, right, that I want to show you. And I actually went over this on Tuesday when I did another workshop on this. So going back to the idea of screen sharing. So yeah, you have the option of Zoom. which records live video, you have the option of Screencast-O-Matic. Now, the limitation of both is that it records live and you cannot edit what happens. So maybe, for example, there's a part of the lecture or whatever in the video that you're just like, what am I rambling on about? And you really can't edit it. Maybe you can edit it, you know, through another software that you might have, but that would require you to, you know, have some familiarity with this sort of thing. And, you know, like most of us, we're all kind of novices, kind of learning this as we kind of go along. I know I am. So when all this stuff happened, you know, I was kind of scrambling to try to look for different ways to deliver my lectures. And so I was already using ISpring, but as far as screen capturing, you know, I was looking for alternatives. So Screencast-O-Matic was obviously one of them. It's probably the most popular, most well-known one. But again, it has a lot of limitations to it. So the other one that I found is called Active Presenter. Now this one, it's also free. I'm only giving you free options here. It's also free. The difference between this and Screencast-O-Matic is that where Screencast-O-Matic is web-based. In other words, you have to go through their website so that they will launch the, you know, the screen capture thing, and then it'll save, and then later it will ask you to say if you want to save it on your desktop or on their server. Active Presenter, think of it as kind of like a Microsoft Office kind of plugin. So it actually is software that downloads onto your computer. So anything that you do saves on your computer. There is no cloud, there is no server. It's just however much space you have on your desktop or laptop or whatever you use. Now, if you notice, it looks a lot like Microsoft Office, right? So for example, let's say I want to start a Black document. I could also do a record video, which is screen capture. I can import a PowerPoint. So I could, if I have already a PowerPoint that exists, I could embed that. Well, not embed that. I can import that, and it'll open it up, and then I can do pretty much anything with it. I can add narration to it. I can, you know, add video clips. I can do all those things. So let's say I want to start a blank document. So a blank document kind of looks like this, you know, and again, it looks a lot like a Microsoft Office. This is not Microsoft Office. This is not PowerPoint. This is Active Presenter. So there might be some copyright infringement stuff here, but I'm not going to say anything. But it makes it a lot easier. So if you're comfortable using, you know, Microsoft Office products, then the learning curve is a lot easier. And I found it pretty simple to use myself. Now they have a screen record option. And the benefit of Active Presenter is that you're not limited by any time frame. Like Screencast-O-Matic only gives you 15 minutes for their free version. Here, you can record as long videos as you want, as long as you have enough space on your computer to house that video. The other major benefit is that you can save it in a lot of different ways. So again, I'm gonna just do a simulation here. I'm gonna start recording one. And it looks very similar to the Screencast-O-Matic. You know, there's kind of a frame here. I can, you know, however much I want to show students or whoever I want to show this video to, right? I can drag it, make it smaller, make it bigger, right? I can customize it. I can do full screen. I can customize it. I like the customized thing. And I can turn on my webcam if I want, but I don't want to do that. I have audio on, and I can start recording. So I'm going to do that right now. That's fine. Now, there's a countdown too, just like Screencast-O-Matic. And again, anything that I'm doing here is recording. So I'm just kind of, once again, just kind of blabbering on a little bit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I want to stop sharing. So, well, actually, sorry, there's a little trick to it. You see, so if I remember correctly, this is the one thing about it I always forget. It's, I think it's Control and End. There it is. Yeah. So now, right? So I can do it wherever I want with it, whatever. And the cool thing about this, so yeah, whatever. So here's the video that I created. So now it's inside this thing and I can do whatever I want with it. I can add more to it. You know, I can, you know, come back later and do it. You know, you can pause, you know, take a break. You really can't do that with Zoom or Screencast-O-Matic. I mean, you could, but you would literally have to press pause and, you know, go off and do something else. Here, whatever I recorded is here. I can save this as a kind of an ongoing project, come back later and add more to it. You know, with the other major benefit that I can do is that I can have a lot more flexibility in terms of editing. Like here, I could actually trim the video in the middle or the end. You can't do that with Screencast-O-Matic. I can add, you know, maybe a background audio, right? I can do that. And as far as the exporting, so remember, and with Screencast-O-Matic, you only had really two options. You could only download the video in MP4, or if you had the account, you can save it on their servers. Here, I could export this into HTML.
Can you share your screen again?
Oh, I am so sorry. Did I not? How long has it been gone?
Short amount of time.
Is my screen?
Rogelio?
Yes.
Yeah, we need you to screen share.
Oh boy, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I don't even know when that happened.
Go back to that last step because I missed everything.
Sure, I am so sorry. I didn't even know I wasn't sharing anymore. You know, I think I might have even left the.
You stopped it when you said I'm going to stop sharing. You stopped this.
Oh, you know what? I must have clicked. That's what happens when you have more than. So I'm gonna start Zoom then. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh boy. Let's see here. Well, how do I? Let's see. No, I don't want to leave the meeting. See, how do I go back to it? It's not letting me now.
Go to the green button on the bottom that says screen share.
Well, no, because like I was saying, because I ended
So
the video.
while you're figuring that out, let me say that I'm going to post in the chat the link to our Padlet that has just a wealth of resources in case we run out of time.
Yeah. So I am so sorry about this. Let me see. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go into my thing real quick here, and I'm probably have to rejoin the session. Let's see. But anyways, so let's see. So here I am. I'm opening it up again. So here I am. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again. So here's my screen, right? Is everybody seeing it?
Yep, we're back.
Great, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. So, all right. So like I was saying, seems like a million years ago now, but so I'm gonna open up so this is what I had, sorry. So this is a video that I recorded. And like I was mentioning before, the benefit of Active Presenter is that I can stop the video, and it'll add it to this to this frame right here, and I can add to it later. So again, that's a huge benefit compared to the Screencast-O-Matic or Zoom, where Zoom and Screencast-O-Matic capture live video, and there really is no way to stop it and come back. You can pause, but you would literally have to pause the video and you go off and do something and come back and unpause it. Here you can stop it, save as a project, and come back later and start a new video and simply put it there, like a slide on PowerPoint. It just gives you a lot more flexibility. And like I said before, as far as editing tools, you have a lot more editing tools than Screencast-O-Matic or Zoom. So here, for example, I can trim the video beginning, middle, or end. I can add background sounds, a soundtrack to it. And as far as exporting, like I was mentioning before, the benefit of Active Presenter is that where Screencast-O-Matic only lets you download as an MP4 or save it on their servers, or even Zoom, you can only, share the video or download the video also, I think also an MP4. Here, you can export it to, there it is, HTML5. You can create that SCORM of it. And once again, put that into your learning management system, whichever you have. So it's a huge benefit. And yes, you can also create questions. You can create multiple choice, just like ISpring. You can do all those things, fill in the blank. You can do all of that stuff. So it's actually a really cool thing that you can do. It's just however comfortable you are. If all you want is bare bones, get it done, screen capture, Screencast Matic is the way to go. It's easy, simple to use, you're done. 15 minutes and you're done. If you want, you know, kind of the HTML conversion, then that little ISpring tool that just kind of shows up in your PowerPoint, that's the way to go. It's free. Now, if you want more freedom, more creativity, then obviously Active Presenter is a good alternative to use. And again, these are all free versions. Active Presenter does have a pro version. It's actually not that expensive. ISpring is pretty expensive for their I think it's over $100, but Active Presenter I think is less than that. But anyways, so those are. Sorry.
We have a question.
Oh, sure. Okay.
About Presenter, do the quiz responses also go through SCORM? I don't know that I'm saying it right.
Yes. So yeah. So for example, when you export and you do HTML5, it gives you those options. So for example, reporting, all that stuff. And remember, you want to make sure that you save it as SCORM. That's key, right? Once you do that, you can when you do those quizzes, you can definitely make those graded. You can embed them into your grade book, and it's all done for you. SCORM takes care of it. You don't have to do anything special except saving it as SCORM, and then just letting it, like a regular assignment, just letting it actually become, you know, an assignment. So that's kind of one of the huge benefits of the SCORM feature here. So
what is the difference between ISpring and Active Presenter?
Active Presenter is a very small tool that just appears on your on your PowerPoint. So this is my actual PowerPoint, and what ISpring does is that it'll just create a new tool, right, inside my regular PowerPoint. So, and it works within PowerPoint. Active Presenter is its own standalone software. So yeah, so ISpring is limited in the sense that I can only do whatever my PowerPoint is doing. Active Presenter allows me to just kind of go nuts, you know, record video and convert that, and add quizzes and all that stuff. They both have similar functions. It's just a matter of how much flexibility you want. You know, if you notice that the ISpring free, it really only gives you a certain number of options. But obviously, if you download the Active Presenter, you have a ton more options here. A ton more options.
Okay. I've got 2 more questions for you. Which of the 3 things that you presented is most...
Oh, I'm sorry. Is most what? Oh, the sound.
How does the instructor see this? I'm sorry, I'm breaking.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Accessible for captions.
Okay.
Accessible for captions. So again, none of these options that I give you have closed caption options in them to create closed captions. You have to do that secondhand, unfortunately. My expertise, or I don't have any expertise very much of anything, but definitely in this aspect, closed captioning, I really am kind of myself stumped about this. Like I mentioned before earlier in the presentation, there is a kind of a cool thing that that PowerPoint does do, that if you do want closed captioning, quick, easy, and relatively accurate, what you can do real quick in the minute that I have left is just see here. I think it's a slideshow. So this is for PowerPoint 16 and over. You can always use subtitles. Click this, and you can actually, just do play from beginning. And when you're delivering your actual presentations, you see how it's starting to, do it. So it's needing my my microphone though, but it's currently being used right now. So I don't think it lets you do more than one thing at a time. So, but you can start talking and it'll, yeah, there it is. You can start talking, and as you can see, it's pretty accurate as far as what I'm saying. Huh? Pretty cool. So, and okay, if you do screen capture, it'll capture this as it's happening. So congratulations, you just did closed captioning on the cheap and free.
That's pretty good. So a lot of people are asking questions that I don't think we have time to get to. And so they're wanting to know, can they contact you directly? Are we going to have this session part 2? What's your thinking on that?
I don't think at all. 3CSN tells me where to go, and I just show up. I don't know.
Okay, so Keelan is adding, just go to ask@3csn.org, and we'll get your questions to Rogelio. And
yeah, I will answer those questions. Yeah, any questions, any lingering questions, if I have time, because obviously we're in kind of a crunch time, I'll answer those questions via the questionnaire. And
well, one quick question was, is there a time limit on active learner?
Active presenter?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, active. So like I said, there are no time limits on Active Presenter. Why? Because Active Presenter is an actual software on your computer. You're only limited to how much space your computer has. No time limits. You can go on for hours and hours until your space on your computer runs out.